Well, hello all. Today we're going to do some hydroponics. That means I'm going to try and grow some tomatoes in a soil-less environment. In other words, we're going to grow it in a solution of water and nutrients for the plant. So what am I going to use? I'm going to basically try and grow it in this bucket full of water and nutrients. How am I going to do this? Well, I've got a piece of non-woven polypropylene. I'm going to take this piece of cloth, I'm going to take the bucket, and I'm going to make a circle. So we're going to make a circle like this, this, and we're going to cut that out, more or less. So I'll start cutting while I try and explain how hydroponics works. Hydroponics basically means that you must support your plant with, say, I'm planning to do it with a piece of string hanging from the curtain rail, and the roots just dangle in water. Now, some people use a bubbler to bubble through the water. You know, plants' roots are very sensitive to not having enough air. They really don't like a lot of, they don't like to be waterlogged. So they do like air. So here's our bucket, and here is this that's going to go over the bucket. And what I'm going to do is go down to the sewing machine and cut a slit just in the center here. So let's just make a little slit in the center. So I've marked it in the center. I've got a little scissors, and we're just going to cut that in there. And this is where I'm going to plant my little seed. I'm planning to grow tomatoes. Maybe I've got, I prefer to grow cherry tomatoes, but we'll see what we've got. But the goal is to grow tomatoes. This is like a long-term project. So let's go and sow the wick that's going to hang into the bucket that the plant's roots are going to grow down. So let's go down to the sewing machine now. So here I have a piece of non-woven polypropylene. It's about 40 centimeters or just over a foot long. I'm folding it in half. It's just over an inch or about 4 centimeters wide, and I'm going to sew it there. So let's switch on the sewing machine. Let's choose a stitch. That stitch will do. Let's put the needle down and the foot, and let's sew. There we go. Let's cut that, lift the foot. There should be a scissors here. Let's sew the other side. Foot down. And there we go. So we've sewn that. Now we've got a little hole in the middle here that we're going to feed this through, and this is for planting for placing the seed on. I'll show you it when it's completely done. Let's sew the other side. And here you see it. We can push our finger through there, and we've got place to put a seed. Right, so what I have is this film that is going to go over the bucket, this piece of non-woven polypropylene, which is going to be the wick that hangs in the water, and then I'm going to push my finger through, and you can see I'm going to plant the seed here inside in this little cavity here, and then the roots are going to grow out and into the water. That's the plan. Never done this before. So we take our bucket, we cover, we make sure the wick is hanging into the water, we kind of center it. Now you need a piece of elastic just to hold it for a moment. So I'm putting this piece of elastic around the bucket, and now you see I've got a bucket with a piece of elastic holding this membrane tight. What I'm about to do is going to make it impossible to see the roots. So you see that's more or less in the center, and it's more or less tight. Okay, so here is where I'm going to plant my seed in there. So the next thing I need is I need a nail, I need a blowtorch, and I'm going to heat the nail. So we take it and we stab it into the bucket. 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 Now to get an even better stick, I'm going to take a piece of sandpaper and just roughen under the frill or fringe of this. Right, so now we're going to use our hot glue gun and we're going to weld the non-woven polypropylene to the bucket. And there we go. Now we can take this piece of elastic off. And so here is our bucket with a membrane, and we can put our seed in there. If this was a piece of chalk, we'd push it in here, and now all we've got to do is fill the bucket with a nutrient solution. Here goes with a spoon of the Nutri-Feed. So we want to get one completely full spoon, and we're going to put it in this little hole in the top here. Chuck it all out. There you see it lying, and then we're just going to feed it through. And there it goes into the bucket. Now when I add water, it's all going to wash in. Let me get some water. So let's add the water. I've just moved the bucket away from the table, and there the water flows in and washes any extra plant food in through the hole. Exciting day. We're about to plant our tomatoes. I bought some seedlings. It's the 24th of August. Now here's 3 types of tomatoes. You get the normal big ones, then we get these slightly smaller ones, and then the little cherry tomatoes I would have preferred. But the only seeds I can find are these regular sized tomatoes. So the way I'm going to plant them is I'm going to take a little bit of this paper, and we're going to dip it in water. So there it's wet. Then we're going to take 2 tomato seeds. I'm going to stick it onto the strip, 1 seed. And there's another seed. So we've got our 2 seeds there and there. We're going to fold it over. And then here's our hydroponics bucket. We're going to fill this with water, and then we're going to poke that into there. And our seed is now going to grow in there. And there's a wick inside here that will dip into the water, and then hopefully we'll see. I'm expecting, if it's the 24th of August, I'm expecting in about 3 months' time, that would be about the 1st of December, somewhere around there, we'll start being producing actual tomatoes. I'll show you my setup with all the buckets. I've got 5 buckets that are being set up. So here you can see 3 of the 5 buckets against the curtain of the window. They're sitting in little basins to catch any water that might come out of the holes. They've been filled with water and with their seeds, and now I will continue to keep you updated, but for now I'm going to upload this video to YouTube, and then over the months as the tomatoes develop, we'll keep you updated.